Hello everyone, welcome to Bramall Lane. As you can see, it's pretty empty now. That's the Cop End. The whole place was full basically this afternoon. The Norwich fans were down there in that lower tier, and sadly they would have got a pretty good view of the goal that won this game. It's finished 1-0 to Sheffield United. It wasn't a Norwich goal that was being celebrated in front of them. It was scored by Billy Sharp. It was made by probably the best moment of quality we had this afternoon in terms of John Lundstrom's cross, which was superb and caused all sorts of problems. The finish itself, coming from Billy Sharp, was annoyingly very similar to the goal he actually got at Carrow Road last season when Sheffield United drew 2-2. And on this occasion, probably always looked enough to win the game. We are still in this situation where Norwich have not claimed a single point from any game they've been behind in, and that is a sorry state of affairs. Probably even sorrier is the fact Norwich haven't taken a single point out of 12 against the two teams they came up with last season. I know over the years I've been covering Norwich that if that little mini league can have quite a big impact on a survival season, because you're automatically competing with any teams that's come up with you. So that failure has really hurt Norwich, even with regards to where Sheffield United are in the table, which is fifth at this point. I'll say hello to all my Sheffield United fans out there. I know there's lots of you. You've been trying to contact me all weekend. It's lovely of you. I'm really touched that you're all still thinking of me. I mean, what I will say, that they are and continue to be so good at what they do, and Chris Wilder, the job he's done here is phenomenal, because they are so powerful and well organised and really well coached side. But I don't really think they play particularly well against Norwich in either game, and if anyone has any issue with that, then that's fine. But even your manager said they didn't play that well at Carrow Road. So, and clearly Sheffield United would have played much better than this to have won as many games as they have done this season, and all power to them, because I think any football club at any level can get into a run where things are just working out for them, and that is due to their credit and their opportunities that they create and the luck you create, because I believe that does happen in football. I would say Norwich are suffering the opposite of that, where they're just having a season where it's just not happening. And this was really frustrating to watch, because Daniel managed the game quite well. He made a big tactical change at half time in terms of a substitution. He played with two up front, with Josip and Teemu up top. They went to a diamond in midfield. I think I'd have rather seen Emi at the point of it, but it was Judah who was there. And actually Norwich at that point then had to be really good on the ball, because that was what was going to keep them in decent shape, because I think defending against the ball in that formation would have been very difficult. But they did manage to keep the ball and use it really well in the midfield. But again, it's generally creating the chances that would make scoring easy for them. I'm not convinced this was one of their best games in terms of chance creation, and that kind of scuppered them. They haven't scored enough goals away from home. And that hasn't always been because of the lack of chances. They have created plenty of chances before, but today, clear-cut wise, I thought they struggled a bit. When they did create them, Dean Henderson, who I agree with Chris Wilder, is one of the best goalkeepers in the country at the moment, made a fantastic save. I don't think the follow-ups, I think in the follow-ups, the ball hit Mario Vrancic's hand. So I actually think, although the follow-up saves were very good as well, I don't think they would have counted through VAR. But the initial save from Ben Godfrey was very good. And that was a key moment in the game. I thought Norwich kind of struggled to create anything after that. But earlier in the first half, with the game still at 0-0, Teemu Pukki had a really good chance when a corner fell to him at the back post, just a few yards out. He caught it really well, but he hit the outside of the post. And for someone who hasn't scored from open play, I think since against Leicester, I think that's right, that's a real issue, and really disappointing. And he probably just needs one to go in off his backside. But there we go. Kind of underlined the difference between where Norwich and Sheffield United both are, what they're trying to do, and probably where they go from here as well. It's going to be quite tough. I know a few of you watched this game and felt it was. I mean, the game wasn't great. Let's be honest. I don't think Norwich played particularly well, but this is no way near a no-show. If we're going to going to complain, then we have to complain about the quality of the players. The fact that they couldn't do what was necessary to at a level that would beat Sheffield United. The midweek games and extra times were irrelevant because both sides were in the same boat, and there was a lack of energy in the first half. I think that's fair enough, but I don't really think that had a particular impact on the game per se, and that's what the two managers felt as well. And yeah, I suppose it would be an interesting question for Norwich fans, whether not looking such a good side as most people say, but having several more points would be a situation they would rather be in. But I guess everyone would probably say that. It's a bit of a nonsensical statement in the first place, but it's not the situation Norwich are in. I don't know if the situation changes too much today. That probably depends on how Aston Villa do at Leicester. I think they are on Monday night. Obviously, if Villa win, then that makes it a very tough weekend. If they don't, then we're kind of as was. We move on, and Norwich have still got all those home games, and you want to keep believing that they've got in them enough to deliver what they need to. But you do worry that what actually gives us evidence for that, because they are conceding goal. They just can't not concede a goal. And they can't get themselves back in if they do concede one, and they do still look like it's hard work to score goals. They have been recurring themes. It's just sometimes the fine margins have gone in their favour, like they did against Leicester. So they're not playing badly. I still don't think they're playing badly, apart from at Wolves, but I don't know if that's good enough. And of course we've kind of known this situation as was. It's been like this for a while, so we're nowhere. We're nowhere where we haven't been. It's just a question of how it gets resolved from here, really. So we will see. Don't know if there's much to pick out individually, really. I thought there were sort of hits and misses in midfield, and Norwich obviously have got good technical players, but I thought that most of them struggled to really show some quality during the game, even though Norwich I thought controlled a lot of the game, but didn't by any means have it all their own way. This is a very difficult place to come and play, and not the biggest fan of Simon Hooper as a referee, because it seems when he gets asked questions, he can't always come up with the right answers. Don't think there was anything particularly here or there that happened today that had any particular impact on the game, though. And yeah, I suppose how things unravel from here for both sides will be interesting. Sheffield United are in a position where they could really push for European football next year, which would just be a phenomenal achievement on their Premier League return. And there's so much noise and passion in this place when it gets going that it can be a very difficult place for any team that rocks up here. Wasn't at its noisiest today, but probably didn't need to be. Sadly, all of the momentum Norwich would have claimed to have had over Sheffield United at the end of last season, that was well and truly gone. And Norwich at the moment probably looking at preparing for something considerably different come the summer. So we'll see how it all unravels. But there we go. I think that's it. I can't think of anything more. But we move on. It's Southampton at Carrow Road on Saturday, and I think at that point, again, probably dependent on the Villa result on Monday night, but Norwich at that point have got to do it themselves. So, and it's not an easy game if Southampton are really on it and pressing and working, because they can be a horrendously awkward side to play against. So we'll see how it goes. That's it, Carrow Road on Saturday. In the meantime, loads of stuff over at The Athletic. Leave your comments, likes, whatever you wish to do. I'll read them all. And thanks for watching on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whichever. Safe trips, safe weekends, and I will see you whenever next it is we meet. Until then, take care.